Hi, ABC family. Christina Villena here with your midweek devotion. Happy Wednesday. Last week I focused on vision and keeping our eye on the prize and lifting up our eyes and looking from the place where we are instead of looking down and at the place where we are, but looking to what God has for us. And I focused a lot on vision. As each day of 2020 ticks by, we can see that it's kind of hard to keep looking up, because it feels like sometimes you take a few steps forward and then a whole lot of steps back in 2020 so far. And maintaining that, lifting up your eyes and looking from, that takes some effort and it takes some work. And this is the enduring part of vision. It's the running the race with endurance. It's persevering in our fight of faith. It's staying the course, staying persistent in our vision. I think last week I talked about being dedicated. It's being driven by our vision and spirit-led. But it's that dedication because it takes time. Sarah Hart Pearsons once asked her grandmother, because she married into that family, Gloria Copeland, she said, how do we get from where we are to where we want to be? Right? Because we are at a point, even though we're lifting up our eyes and we're looking from to where we want to go, how do you get there? And her response, Gloria Copeland's response was, just keep walking. And it was almost like one of those moments where you go, and? Like there's some magic, like what else? But what was she saying? She was saying, just keep walking by faith. Sometimes all you can do is keep walking. Even if you've been walking for 5 years, 10 years, keep walking. You've been trying to get a new job for months, keep walking. You gotta keep walking by faith. In Ephesians 6, I'll grab that right here, 6:13, it says, therefore put on God's complete armor that you may be able to resist and stand your ground on the evil day, and having done all the Christ's demands, to stand firmly in your place. So in Ephesians it says, having done all, stand. You've done everything you can do, now you stand. With vision, it's the same process. It's lifting up and it's looking from, but it's keep walking despite what's happening around you. In other words, don't quit. In that book that I've been reading, The Fight to Flourish by Jenny Lesko, she says, don't stop because you're tired. Push harder, push through. You just got to push through it, because this could bring the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Sometimes when we're at that point of like almost ready to throw in the towel, that's the end of it. And you just got to push through and keep walking. Galatians 6:7 says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, he will also reap. And in verse 9 it says, and let us not lose heart and grow weary and faint in acting nobly and doing right. So don't lose heart. Don't grow weary. Don't faint. Why? It says, for in due time and at the appointed season, we shall reap. If, there's an if, we do not loosen and relax our courage and faint. So do not lose sight of the vision. Don't grow weary. Faint not. Do not loosen your courage. Don't let down your eyes and look at where you are. Don't look at, oh, I've taken these steps and now look at where I'm at. Don't do that. You got to lift up that eyes and you got to keep walking and looking from. I know for some of us, we had a vision in the new year, right? 2020 came January 1st, and we all have, this is the rhema word that we have, the prophetic word that we're standing on, the word that God gave us, and you go in with these goals and these visions into 2020, and then 2020 hit. And for a lot of us, where did the vision go? The vision's been blurred, or it felt like with everything crumbling, we lost sight of it. And it's time to grab a hold of what God told you then, because what he told you at the beginning of the year still stands, even now, despite what's happening or what's happened. If God gave you that word at the beginning of this year for 2020, that word is still true. Grab hold of that vision, that rhema word, and start walking it out. Don't be discouraged. Don't relax in your courage. Faint not. In Philippians 1:6 in the Message Bible, it says, the God who started this great work in you would keep at it and bring it to a flourishing finish. I loved that, because that's the book that I'm actually reading, The Fight to Flourish. And in the Message Bible, that scripture literally says that God is bringing it to a flourishing finish. But you got to push through. He started that great work and he's going to complete it in you. But you got to maintain, you got to keep walking. Just keep walking day in and day out. In the book by Jenny Lusko, the Fight to Flourish, she said, a life that blooms with growth doesn't just happen. Progress requires effort and energy, stamina and sweat, persistence and perseverance. And in 1 Corinthians 9:24-25, it says, do you not know that in a race, all the runners run? Everyone runs a race, guys, but only one gets the prize. Run in such a way to get the prize. Why only one? Because they're the ones that's not growing weary. They're not fainting. They're not losing heart. They're not losing courage. They're not loosening. They are fighting for that prize. So run in such a way to get the prize. The other thing that she said in her book was, everything we do in this current season, right now, everything that you're doing in the current season is preparing you for the next one. Training for the trial we're not yet in, which I thought was a really aha moment. We are in a season right now, but it's preparing us for that next season. It's preparing us for the trial that we haven't even come to yet. So you want to make sure you are fighting right now in this season to get to that vision so that when that next trial comes, you're already on the right course and the right path. So keep walking. Keep the vision in front of you. Something that Sarah Hart Pearson said that just, I think about it every day. She said, faith in God will give you a story that gives him glory. When you have your faith in God, he will give you a story that will give him glory. Because one day you're going to get to tell your story and everything that God took you through, and it's going to give him glory. But you got to keep up that fight. You got to keep your eyes lifted up, and you got to keep that vision strong. So keep walking it out, and you will have an amazing story that will give God glory. So this week, I just want to encourage you to keep walking. Just walk. Every day, keep walking it out by faith. Have a great day. Bye.